If you're over 60, there's a common habit, something you probably do in your own kitchen every single day, that could be quietly setting you up for a devastating stroke. There is no pain, no warning. Just one moment you're warming up last night's dinner, and the next you're waking up in a hospital, unable to speak, lift your arm, or even remember your own name. As medical professionals, we have seen this tragedy unfold far too often. We see patients who exercised, ate well, and took their medications, yet still suffered massive strokes. The cause wasn't always bad genes or bad luck. Sometimes it was the reheated leftovers in their refrigerator. Yes, really, from vegetables to meats, even so-called healthy dishes, when you reheat certain foods, especially the wrong way, toxic compounds and harmful bacteria can form. These can increase your blood pressure, inflame the delicate lining of your arteries, and in many cases contribute to the formation of deadly blood clots that can travel straight to the brain while you sleep. Today, we will walk you through 9 popular reheated foods that could be silently harming your brain. Some of them are likely in your fridge right now. Stay with me, because the last one may be the most dangerous of all. The 9 most dangerous reheated foods for seniors. Number 1, reheated potatoes. Let's start with potatoes, one of the most common and beloved foods in our homes. We bake them, mash them, and roast them. But what most older adults don't know is that when you reheat cooked potatoes that have been stored improperly, they can become a silent threat to your brain. Here's why. Cooked potatoes are a perfect breeding ground for a bacteria called Clostridium botulinum, the same bacteria responsible for botulism. This bacterium thrives in low-oxygen environments, like the dense center of a cooked potato, especially when left at room temperature for several hours. While you might think reheating will kill it, the heat-resistant spores can survive, and more importantly, they can produce a potent neurotoxin. In older adults with weakened immune systems and slower digestion, even small exposures to this toxin can have devastating effects. It can cause neurological symptoms like blurred vision and muscle weakness. But even more alarmingly, it can quietly damage your vascular system, leading to blood pressure instability and triggering the formation of blood clots. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 does not process toxins the way it did at 30. The professional solution, the 2-hour rule. Always refrigerate cooked potatoes within 2 hours. Never leave them sitting out on the counter overnight. Reheat to 165 degrees, -74 degrees. When reheating, ensure they are steaming hot all the way through to kill any active bacteria. When in doubt, throw it out. If the texture or smell seems off, do not risk it. No meal is worth your independence. Number 2, reheated rice. Rice is another staple that is incredibly misunderstood when it comes to brain health. Cooked rice, when left to cool at room temperature, becomes a perfect environment for a different type of bacteria, Bacillus cereus. This bacterium produces spores that are highly resistant to heat. This means that even when your rice is steaming hot after reheating, the toxins produced by the bacteria can remain. These toxins can cause more than just a stomachache. In older adults with more fragile blood vessels, these toxins can trigger a systemic inflammatory response. This inflammation can destabilize plaque in your arteries and significantly contribute to the formation of blood clots. When inflammation rises, your blood becomes more prone to clotting. In an elderly person who may already have some degree of atherosclerosis, stiff, plaque-lined arteries, this creates a perfect storm. It's a silent process that can lead to a stroke. The professional solution: cool quickly. After cooking rice, don't let it sit on the counter. Spread it out on a baking sheet to cool quickly, then refrigerate it within 1 hour. Reheat only once. Never reheat rice more than once. The 24-hour limit. For maximum safety, consume leftover rice within 24 hours of its initial cooking. Number 3, reheated chicken, especially dark meat. Chicken is a staple in nearly every household, but what happens when you reheat it, especially dark meat like thighs and legs, can be problematic for an older body. Chicken, particularly dark meat, contains a higher concentration of fats and proteins that undergo significant chemical changes when cooked, cooled, and then reheated. This process, especially in a microwave, can lead to the formation of oxidized cholesterol products and other inflammatory compounds that are hard for an aging digestive system to process. This surge of inflammation can be particularly dangerous for seniors. It can cause a temporary spike in blood pressure and promote instability in any existing plaque within your arteries. For a senior with a vulnerable circulatory system, this can be the trigger that leads to a blood clot forming and traveling to the brain. The professional solution: reheat on the stovetop. Instead of a microwave, which heats unevenly, reheat chicken gently on the stovetop or in the oven to ensure it reaches a safe internal temperature of 165 degrees, 74 degrees throughout. Store. Properly, store cooked chicken in the refrigerator for no more than 3 to 4 days. Trust your senses. If there is even a hint of a sour smell or a change in texture, discard it immediately. Number 4. Reheated spinach and leafy greens. This one is shocking for many because we are taught that leafy greens are the pinnacle of health. And when fresh they are, but reheating leafy greens like spinach or kale can be a hidden danger. These vegetables are naturally rich in nitrates. In moderation, nitrates are beneficial and can help relax your blood vessels. However, when you reheat nitrate-rich vegetables, the heat can trigger a chemical reaction that converts these harmless nitrates into nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are compounds that have been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, but more immediately for seniors, they can cause a condition called methemoglobinemia. This is a blood disorder where the iron in your hemoglobin is changed, making it unable to carry oxygen effectively. For an older adult, even a mild case can lead to fatigue, shortness of breath, and a dangerous drop in oxygen supply to the brain, which can trigger confusion or even a stroke in those with pre-existing circulatory issues. The professional solution: eat them fresh. The best way to consume leafy greens is fresh in a salad or lightly cooked and eaten immediately. Avoid reheating. Do not store and reheat large batches of cooked spinach or kale. If you must, reheat it only once, gently, on the stovetop. Pair with vitamin C. If you are eating cooked greens, pairing them with a source of vitamin C, like a squeeze of lemon juice, can help inhibit the conversion of nitrates to nitrosamines. Number 5. Reheated beets and carrots. Like spinach, these sweet root vegetables are also high in natural nitrates. When cooked, cooled, and reheated, these nitrates can also be converted into nitrites and potentially harmful nitrosamines. For seniors, whose bodies and detoxification systems, liver and kidneys, are less efficient, this can lead to a gradual buildup of oxidative stress. This stress can inflame the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making them stiffer and more vulnerable to clot formation. It's a subtle, cumulative damage that happens over weeks and months, all from a seemingly harmless habit. The professional solution: enjoy them raw or freshly cooked. The best way to get the benefits of these vegetables is to eat them raw, grated in salads, juiced, or freshly steamed or roasted. Cool quickly and reheat gently. If you have leftovers, cool them quickly and refrigerate within an hour. When reheating, do so gently on the stovetop and only once. Avoid boiling them a second time. Number 6. Reheated eggs. Eggs are a powerhouse of protein. However, once they are boiled or scrambled, their high protein and sulfur content makes them a target for rapid bacterial growth if not stored correctly. When eggs are reheated, especially in a microwave, their protein structure changes in a way that can be very difficult for an aging digestive system to break down. More concerning is the risk of bacterial contamination. If cooked eggs are left at room temperature for too long before being refrigerated, bacteria like salmonella can multiply. Reheating might not be sufficient to kill all the bacteria, leading to food poisoning, which can cause severe dehydration and electrolyte imbalances, both of which are significant stroke risks for seniors. The professional solution: eat them fresh. The safest and most nutritious way to eat eggs is freshly cooked. Store in glass. If you must store hard-boiled eggs, keep them in an airtight glass container in the coldest part of your fridge, not the door. Avoid the microwave. Never reheat boiled or scrambled eggs in the microwave. Eat them cold or gently warm them in a pan with a little water. Number 7. Reheated processed meats. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, and cold cuts are already high in sodium and preservatives. But what most people don't know is how these preservatives, especially nitrites and nitrates, change when they are reheated. When exposed to high heat a second time, these additives can form a higher concentration of those dangerous nitrosamines. These compounds are known to damage the lining of your blood vessels, contributing to inflammation and increasing the risk of blood clots. The combination of oxidized fats, high sodium, and nitrosamines from reheated processed meats creates a perfect storm for your arteries. The professional solution: limit processed meats entirely. The healthiest option is to avoid these foods as much as possible. Cook fresh. If you do eat them, cook them once and eat them immediately. Do not save and reheat them. Choose nitrate-free. Look for products that are labeled uncured or no nitrates or nitrites added. Number 8. Reheated dairy-based dishes. A comforting bowl of reheated macaroni and cheese might feel like a treat, but it can be a risk for seniors. When dairy-based dishes are reheated, especially at high temperatures in a microwave, the fats can oxidize, forming harmful byproducts called lipid peroxides and advanced glycation end products, AGs. These compounds are highly toxic to your blood vessels. They create inflammation and contribute directly to the formation of blood clots. The combination of oxidized fats, sodium, and processed carbohydrates in a dish like this is incredibly hard for an older adult's circulatory system to manage. The professional solution: reheat gently on the stovetop. If you must reheat a creamy or cheesy dish, do so slowly over low heat on the stovetop. Avoid reheating more than once. These dishes are best eaten fresh. Choose lighter alternatives. Consider nourishing options like a baked sweet potato or a warm bowl of lentil soup instead. Number 9. Reheated mushrooms. To many, mushrooms seem like the perfect health food. But mushrooms are not plants, they are fungi. Their unique protein and enzyme structure makes them break down very rapidly after being cooked. When reheated, especially in a microwave, their delicate proteins can be further denatured, producing toxic metabolites that are much harder for an aging liver and kidneys to process. This can lead to a dangerous rise in oxidative stress, which quietly damages the fragile capillaries and arteries in the brain. Over time, this cumulative damage can increase the risk of blood clot formation. The professional solution: cook and eat immediately. The best way to enjoy mushrooms is to cook them and eat them right away. Refrigerate immediately and use within 24 hours. If you have leftovers, refrigerate them immediately in an airtight glass container and consume them within 1 day. Never reheat more than once. This is a strict rule for mushrooms. If they feel slimy or smell off, discard them without hesitation. Conclusion and outro. Your brain is only as healthy as the blood that flows through it, and that flow can be disrupted by the smallest, most overlooked details in your daily routine. This is not about creating fear around leftovers. It's about empowering you with the knowledge to make safer choices. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these reheated foods surprised you the most? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe for more vital health information, and share it with someone you care about. Your awareness could save a life. Thank you for watching.